These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, April 10th. We're recording the day after the Celtics lost to the Bucks. If you want our thoughts on that game, make sure to check it out on the channel or on podcast platforms. Our full thoughts is in, I think the video is like 18 minutes long, but it came out yesterday as you're listening to this. A reminder, as always, leave a like on the video if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, follow us there, leave us 5 stars and a review. We'd appreciate it very much. Comment on the YouTube video, what's poppin' for a chance to win a $10 Incognito gift card, and use code CLNS on Prize Picks for up to $100 deposit matching. All right, let's get into it. Joe Mazzulla went on the radio. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at, kind of laughing at you. I went on Twitter and I saw you do the "What's up, brother?" and I'm watching
What's up, brother?
The Jazz go in, and everybody's doing it. They're Walker Kessler was way too excited about it. By the way,
Well, you're not a sketch guy. You're not familiar with sketch.
I'm aware of sketch.
Through you understand it. So, for anybody in the comments, what's up, brother? I assume we know the finger. You need to do it. So I told Cam, our friend Cam Tabatabai of Celtics Lab and Celtics Wire. I was at a game with him covering it. And I turned to him, I go, Cam, you're a history teacher, right? And I go, what grade do you teach? He goes, 10th grade. I go, Cam, next time you go into class, just enter the room and just go, what's up, brothers? And you just that's all you got to do. Just enter the room, say hello, say, what's up, brother?
Some balls.
And they will, I guarantee, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know sketch at all. So he was just like, what are you talking about? And so he saw, it's Cam tagging me in a clip on Twitter of the Jazz, social media person going up all the Jazz players saying, what's up, brother? And they were all confused. I saw one, the Grizzlies did it too with Marcus. No fucking clue. What's up, brother?
Yeah, not shocked.
No idea.
Not shocked.
But yeah, anyways, first thing we're getting into as my Google Docs decides to act up. Joe Mazzulla went on Zolak and Bertrand in 98.5. He talked about a bunch of stuff, but perhaps most notably how he views the Celtics job as well as a potential path to the NBA Finals. He said, quote, I could never imagine having a job where I wouldn't wake up and want to be the absolute best at it. That's been the coolest moment about this job, is finding freedom and the peace and the love and the joy of that pressure. And I feel like our guys this year, regardless of what's going to happen, they have that, talking about sort of the pressure of playing in Boston, the pressure that the Celtics have on them because they are the favorites to win the title. But Joe also went in the studio and talked about the path to the finals. So we can watch that clip here and then sort of break down the whole interview. Sam, I know you watched it closely, so we can watch and then react.
I got about a third of the way through it before we got started here. But pretty cool. Joe goes in the studio with them, which I personally think is cool. Jack and I doing a show like this, it's pretty cool that he would go sit down with a pair of local radio guys.
Yeah, so let's take a listen. This is Joe on Zolak and Bertrand.
Now is one of the things we're studying now is the trajectory towards getting to that point, right? And if you take a look at back, one of the things I've been reading is 11 rings, just to kind of see the process towards championship teams and how they handle regular seasons and playoffs. And if you take a look at all the teams from the book that they talked about, every journey to the finals looked completely different. Completely different. 1 year the Lakers lost one game. It was the first round.
That's right.
The Sixers. You take a look at the Bucks journey a couple of years ago. The last 3 series they were down in every one. They were down 0-2 to the Nets. They were down 0-1.
Wait.
The Hawks, and then they were down 0-2 to the Suns.
I don't think that's a path that anyone would want to take, though.
So, but here's the thing: nobody wants that. But at the end of the day, you have to be willing, just like the quote, you have to be willing to go through whatever it is that's necessary to go through to get to where you want to go. And sometimes you're in control of dictating that environment, and sometimes you're not. The other team is also trying to win the NBA championship too, and I think you have to appreciate both sides of that. Yes, would it be ideal and what's best for our team from a physical, mental, emotional standpoint to fortunate enough to even win the first round or the second round in an easier fashion, but that may not be what's necessary. That may not be what the environment requires. And I think it's that surrender of two is if you go in with the expectation of okay, we need it to go this way, then you may not be ready to handle what the environment calls for, And so I think that's important.
Typical Joe. It sounds like something you'd say. And just to add on to what he's saying, 5 years from now, no one's going to fucking remember how many games it took them to get out of the first round. No, if they win the championship, if they win it all, no one's going to care. No one's going to care how they did it. Unless they go 16-0. That's the only way someone would care about how they got it done.
I would
and so,
care. Yeah.
exactly, 16-0.
I do a lot of caring.
And that's historic. But, no, if you get the job done, no one cares how it got you there. And I understand which one was that, like, going back, like, talking to. Was that Zolak
one of the
and
things we're
Bertrand?
studying now.
No.
I think Bertrand was the one that was like, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see you losing games. And
obviously,
Bertrand, thank you for speaking up for all of us because I can't do it again.
Joe's not stupid though. Like Joe's not trying to fucking lose the games. Like he comes back, he's like, yeah, no shit. Year? No one wants to lose. Well, yeah, well, I know cheating games don't matter, but like he's not dumb. He's like he's not gonna have that same mindset in the playoffs, obviously, right? Like no one wants to lose games in the playoffs. No one wants to lose games ever. But sometimes it happens. Like no one's gone 82-0 ever. Even though the 73-9 Warriors didn't win the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like shit happens. You got they were forever remembered as clowns. You have to get through what you have to get through, and I agree with that point. And there's no point in like worrying about what if we can't have this series go to 7. That's a disaster. No, you worry about winning the game that's in front of you because that's all you can control in that moment.
I really enjoy listening to Joe talk about mindset. The way he looks at things is different than most. Not to say that thinking that you should win the game that's in front of you next before thinking about the entire series is outrageous. But all season we've heard him talk differently about things. And there are parts of this interview where he kind of goes in and talks about, listen, like we're probably better at not complaining to the officials than last year, but it's not something we're necessarily working on. Like he just kind of goes in, details things in a unique way, and makes the most of it. And he's gotten his team to buy into the process where they're going game by game, not getting too high on the high or low on the lows, and taking what's in front of them, like he kind of speaks on in the playoffs, and seeing what they can do with it. Can we get better at this? Can we improve that? There are so many things throughout the season we've seen them work on, especially in the last month where they're just kind of screwing around out there. And it's probably going to be nice to have in the back pocket in the playoffs when you run into a situation where you may need it. So I think what he's ultimately trying to do, which all coaches should be doing, if not, they're probably not a good coach, is be prepared. Be prepared when things don't necessarily go according to plan. It sucks. He talked about the Bucks game last night when it sucks for them that Giannis got hurt. If somebody gets hurt, you have to be ready to play through some of the other guys on this team. Not that we're all sitting here thinking someone's going to get hurt, but the way that the bench guys are utilized in close games in the fourth quarter, them getting the reps against the Kings and then different teams, but improving just 2 days after against Portland. They blew the game open instead of letting it get close, and it was the same group. Again, Portland is not as good of a team as Sacramento is, but it was a very similar group on the floor for the Celtics, and they instead took care of business rather than melting.
I mean, I feel like people are just way too hard on Joe. Like just the general consensus. I'm not saying he's a perfect coach. He's not a perfect coach.
They definitely are. They're definitely
there's stuff that's happening. But I forget who I was talking to yesterday. Where was I yesterday? Oh, I was at jury duty yesterday. And as I told you on the story, my high school gym teacher was on the jury with me. We were having a conversation. And he just asked me, like, what do you think about Joe? And the way I like explain it now is I think everyone wants, like, in their mind, the ideal coach and the best type of coach is Eric Spoelstra. It is the guys who will X's and O's beat you in a 1v1 bat, like that type of thing. That's what everybody sees as the best coach in the world. Like that's what every coach needs to be, or else they're not good enough. But I think Joe is really good at that stuff, and he doesn't get credit for it enough. I believe that, and I think that is something that people underappreciate. But I think the thing that people fail to realize is the importance of like a Steve Kerr coach. Like this Celtics team has all of the talent. It has all of the guys. It has Tatum, it has Brown, it has Holiday, who is an all-defensive player, Derek White, all-defensive player, Kristaps Porzingis, who is an all-star. It even has Al Horford coming off the bench. Like, sometimes you don't need this master tactician. You need somebody who can get a group of people together on the same page and working towards the same goal at the highest possible level for their talents. And I think there are few coaches in the NBA better at that than Joe Mazzulla. And I think you've seen that this year. Yes, the Celtics have all the talent in the world. Yes, the Celtics have on paper what many consider to be the best roster. But how many times have we seen the Brooklyn Nets fucking fumble and throw away their the Lob City Clippers have all this talent and not be able to get over the hump.
Both those teams had Blake Griffin, and last year's team, Blake Griffin confirmed cancer.
All of these examples
Sorry,
of
Blake.
teams. let me make my point.
Sorry, I'm making you laugh.
All of these teams have all the talent in the world with whatever coach you put in front of them, but they don't get over the hump because they don't have the right person bringing them together. And it's, yes, the Celtics have a better team on the floor, so they have a better record this year, but the Celtics don't have this many wins without the right person leading them in the right direction. And Joe Mazzulla has done a phenomenal job at that. And so I think when people hear this, their immediate thing is, well, this guy wants to lose game in the play. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is your past, last year's failures, like, infecting your mind and swaying your opinion on this guy when this is a completely new team, a completely new season, a completely new Joe who has evolved and improved and learned from stuff that he had to learn on the fly last year.
Correct.
And it's not even close to the same thing. And so I think people need to do a better job of sort of taking in all the information, taking in what they're seeing rather than what they have seen in the past. And even last year, I know we were on the same page. He even got way too much of a bad rap last year.
He did. He was, I think,
there was fair criticism,
appropriately held accountable in the playoffs at times. Okay, so you're absolutely right. The mindset thing with this team is perfect. And, we've talked about Mazzulla endlessly this season and how he fits with the team and everybody comparing him to Ime after last season. They didn't get back to the finals and everybody felt like they really should have. Fit is important. He's probably the right coach for this season's team. He might not have been the right coach for last season's team, so they made the changes. But the most impressive part about what he's done this season to me is he seamlessly got these new guys put into the roster, put into the schemes on both ends of the floor, and he's made it work. Drew Holiday joined the team less than 3 weeks before the season tipped off. Like, let's not pretend like he was there all summer and Joe had time to think about it and he knew that Drew was going to be part of the team. Granted, Drew's been excellent. We heard the anecdote about him showing up and being like, I'll just do whatever. Like, you guys got it. I'm here. And it's helpful. But for Joe Mazzulla to get everyone to buy in all the time is so impressive because you hear horror stories about some coaches around the NBA where they don't have any respect from the players. They go in, they handle it incorrectly, and then guys don't want to listen to them. They think they're a joke. And this often doesn't happen with very talented rosters because guys are just frustrated with losing. And it does help that the Celtics win almost all the time. But to get these guys consistently engaged is very impressive to me. And his messaging is consistent. The players are bought in, and that is meaningful as we approach the playoffs.
And my other thing, just going back to like the whole Steve Kerr expulsion thing, if this, like, to your point, like his ability to integrate these guys into the team and find success, if this was the Spurs and they added, 2 pieces next to Wembanyama, Greg Popovich would get a ton of credit for how he was able to, bring them together. If this was the Warriors and let's say Kevin Durant joins the team, Steve Kerr would probably get some credit for bringing them together and helping them play together.
I don't know if Steve Kerr got a ton of credit for the Durant
I think he did. I think he did get
I don't
credit.
know.
I think so. More so than Joe has been getting.
My knee-jerk reaction
I'll put it this way.
like, of course you're winning. You have Durant.
I'll put it this way. There probably weren't a lot of people in Golden State saying fire Steve Kerr.
That's correct. There are definitely more people that don't like Joe Mazzulla than people that don't like Steve Kerr. But Kerr also had won a championship by then, in fairness to the haters, not to say that they're right.
See, that is my thing, though, because people are so caught up, and rightfully so. I get it. That is the bar in Boston, and rightfully so. I agree with that. But people are so caught up with holding him to that standard after a single season where he didn't know he was going to be the head coach of one of the most historic organizations ever until a month before the season started. Him failing to win the NBA Finals after getting to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And I know the whole story of, like, yes, they went down through all this stuff, but, like, history shows, like, they're holding him accountable for the singular season in which he didn't know he was going to be the head coach until a month before the year started. when he wasn't fully prepared for that, when he wasn't able to fully integrate his ideals into the team, when he didn't have the head coaching staff that he wanted, that he was able to build, that he failed to get over that hump in that first season. They're holding it against him in the midst of one of the most historic seasons we've ever seen for a regular season team. Like they're taking all of that from that 1 year and ignoring all the context that happens and saying Joe is not responsible for any of this. He didn't do anything right. It's just the players are really good. Like, that's not fair to me. That's the part that gets like, can we have a little bit of like appreciation for the job he's done? And you saying, like, I'm not saying you, but like that is genuinely the mindset of people. Well, he hasn't won yet. Yeah, he had one chance, like half-hearted thrown into this gig, like they, like effectively a second bench guy head coach saying, yeah, here you go lead this team, go win a finals. And he said it himself in the J.D. Redick party. He goes, I had no fucking clue what I was doing at the start. Like, I'd banked on the players. And so I remember the quote. He was like, yeah, there were some games I thought we played really well that we lost, and some games that I thought I did a shit job coaching and we still won. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I had to grow and learn from. And people are holding that against him still to this day, when I think he should get a ton of credit for the job he's done. And Joe has been an amazing coach this year. And I know you hate the whole discussion thing, but just to contextualize how good he's been as a head coach, he's probably going to finish top 3 to 5 in coach of the year discussions. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Yeah, I mean, sure. He won't win. But
it's just a way to contextualize how good he's been.
The fan base that he has done a very good job. He has maximized probably the potential of the talent on this roster. They've done an excellent job of getting everybody involved, using everybody the correct way. He's getting a ton out of the bench guys, which really doesn't get talked about from his kind of point of view. It's more of, wow, Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser are really stepping up this year. Luke Cornett's done a great job. But the way that they're being used is not necessarily the way that they've been used in the past. It's sort of new. Peyton Pritchard has more ball handling responsibilities when he's in the game. Sam Hauser is having offense run for him when he's off the ball. Luke Cornett is being put in situations where he can succeed. He's great in the dunker spot. He's great as the roll man. They've figured it out with all the experimentation that Joe does, and they have gotten him in the right places just to be like, look at this dunk.
Definitely.
And he shot 3.
He did in fact shoot a 3. Okay. Next thing we got is the Maine Celtics. The Maine Celtics won game 1. Before we do that, can you hear the TV going on behind me? Can you hear it at all or no?
I don't hear it, but I also have music on, so hold on.
Yeah, mute it for a sec. Can you hear this? If you can't hear it, it's fine.
No, I don't hear it.
Okay. Well, the only thing I brought it up is because it wasn't on when I started. So I think the dog stepped on the remote and turned it on. So I took my headphones off for a second to adjust, and I heard a voice, and I shit myself. I'm like, what
the fucking dog,
my house.
Dude, you gotta throw that thing out of the house. Get ready to go to the pound, buddy.
It scared me, man. Anyways, Maine Celtics won game 1 of the G League Finals in dominant fashion, taking down the OKC Blue with a 20-point win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nemish Queta, big game. J.D. Davison played well. Drew Peterson played well. 2, I think I need to pull up the stats exactly because it's not the easiest to find the box scores for these games.
No, it's not.
J.D. Davison, Nemish Queta, and Drew Peterson, I know all played well. Oh, here we go. It's on ESPN. Find it. Queta had 20 and 13 and 3 blocks. Drew Peterson had 20, 11, 5, 3. Jordan Walsh had 15 and 6. JD Davison 23 and 12 assists. And then the OKC Blue had Shackelford put up 21 and nobody else put up 20. Celtics dominant win, 106-86 win for the Maine Celtics, who are now 1 win away from their first G League title in franchise history.
That would be a fantastic way to kick off the spring, now wouldn't it? Just watching all the fellas up north go berserk. A lot of our commenters are up in Maine.
Shout out Maine.
Rui,
100%.
Joey Spatula.
Is Rui in Maine? I didn't know that. I know he went to the game.
Yesterday.
I just wasn't sure if he was like from Maine, is what you're saying. But yeah,
well, he's been to a couple of these games. Maybe he's just a big fan. Maybe he does make the trip up there.
Respect, man. Yeah, no, shout out Maine Celtics. It's very cool to see them play well. JD
good excitement been really in the
good.
arena.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
packed house. Brad borderline asleep, but everybody else was awake.
Yeah, Nemish Kid has been apparently just babying opponents, like just making them look tiny.
He has,
which is fun
I watched
to watch.
That mixtape from the conference final. They didn't have a chance. Dude. They were jumping. He was just looking like the most patient man on the planet. Carried over to the big league.
Who won G League MVP this year? I think it was Oscar Tshiebwe. I think it was.
It might have been Mac McClung.
It was Mac McClung. Good call. Yeah. Oscar won Defense Rookie of the Year. I know he won something, and I only know because he is Giannis beef guy. But Mac McClung did in fact win G League MVP. He averaged. And now I'm just curious because I want to know. What did he average? Oh, he averaged 26, 4.7, and 6.7. Yeah, that'll do it. Fair enough, Mac. But I can't imagine. I'm pretty sure JD made. I'm pretty sure JD made like all G League team. I know he had like a really, really good season for them this year, and so he should get a ton of credit for that. Yeah, shout out Maine Celtics, man. It's fun to watch. They've been sort of like dominating. Like they've sort of just been killing everybody this year. Kind of like the real Celtics. So
it's good to see, and it's good to see that there's a good level of talent in the lower league. Like somebody like Jordan Walsh is getting reps, but in the same role that he's supposed to play with the Celtics. I forget who had said that to us. It might have been Bobby. But the fact that he's able to play defense, rack up defensive stats, and still score about 15 points is pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's ultimately what the Celtics probably want him to be able to do in the NBA. JD Davison, despite his shortcomings in the actual NBA, plays really well for Maine. Nemi is getting good reps underneath the basket, dominating on the glass. I love what I've seen from him too. And Drew Peterson looks pretty fun too. He's a better driver than he looks.
Yeah, JD Davison is. Oh, Drew Peterson. I see what you mean. I thought you said JD Davison.
Well, he's a high flyer, but
they both are. Shaq Harrison won Defensive Player of the Year in the G League. My bad. He averaged 2.8 steals a game. Oscar Tshiebwe won Rookie of the Year, averaging 16 and 16, which is fucking insane to say out loud. But next thing, Jay King of The Athletic wrote an article on Kristaps Porzingis. I don't want to read the whole thing on here because I want everybody to go read it for themselves, give it the love it deserves. But it's titled Kristaps Porzingis' career was at a crossroads. Then he learned to trust the numbers. And now Sam head and hands when he hears that. However, you know the numbers he learned to trust, Sam?
Post-up numbers is what he learned to trust. And I wrote about the post-up numbers before the season.
You did.
Not to say my man Jay did not put in the work. His article is far more extensive than mine. Just saying, Porzingis is good at the post, and so was Al Horford when he was in his prime.
Yeah, no. Jay King talked to a lot of people for this. He talked to. I just want to get their titles correct, so I don't butcher it. He talked to Vulgaris, who was a team assistant on the Mavericks, about like their work. Advanced analytics guy, Bob Vulgaris. Talked to him and basically said apparently this is the only story I want to highlight from it because it like shows just how like averse to post ups the Mavs and he were. They were playing a game against the Lakers, and they had Danny Green guard Porzingis instead of Anthony Davis, thus allowing Anthony Davis to stay in the paint and clogging it up for Luka. And Bob Vulgaris, quote, "We're fucked. we're done. As in, we can't do shit because they tried to post him up a couple times. It wasn't really working, etc. And he was like, basically, specifically, your post ups are not efficient. And so there was like some guys he worked with, Zanis Piners. I'm gonna get the names butchered, but again, go read the article. Talked about working on his post up game, the efficiency, all the stuff, and now obviously he's in Boston now, and they are posting him up all the time.
As they should be.
Learned it in Washington, and he's been a lot more open to the idea. I'll read this. While others accepted his limitations as lasting, Porzingis banked on the idea that he could break out of them. Though much of the league was pivoting away from post-ups, he had an unusual advantage as a 7'2" sharpshooter after failing to buy fully into the analytics during his time in Dallas. Quote, because I didn't understand it, he says. Chats with Piners helped him see their importance. At first, this is a quote from Porzingis now. At first, I was like, get out of here. He said, I don't know. You're not efficient. You need to do this. You need to do that. So once we got comfortable having those conversations, that's when he really helped me. Now, as you can see with Porzingis now, man, loves the post up. So shout out to J King for a very, very well-written article. Again, it's titled Kristaps Porzingis' career was at a crossroads, then he learned to trust the numbers. It's on The Athletic right now, so everyone should go read it. But Kristaps post-ups have quickly become a favorite in Boston. So W.
I've been begging for more post-ups, especially in the clutch. I think it's just such a controlled play that they can run. They can draw doubles just by getting him the ball. He doesn't even have to put it on the floor if he doesn't want to. He can just turn and shoot over guys. The options seem very, very limitless when it comes to that, rather than the pigeonholes that they put themselves in with other kind of things. Like the Tatum ISOs are great, but they're not. And he often just takes a tough shot, and there isn't always a pass that comes out of it. It's just too single layered. So I'm throwing something in where Porzingis can turn, shoot, he can pass, he can drive and try and dunk. There's just so many more things you can get out of it than just the lame same thing.
Yeah. Shout out Porzingis. It always astonishes me how easily you wrap everything into, fuck this guy, Jason Tatum.
It's just like the alternative. Like, if you're talking about the late game stuff, that's usually what they run. And I mean, this season it hasn't gone very well.
No, I agree with you. I think they do need to run more.
That wasn't even meant to be like a slight at him. It's just like, this is why, I think this is better.
It just tickles me. It makes me laugh.
But Tillman does have more game winners than Tatum.
He's more than Porzingis too. So
that's because Porzingis doesn't get the fucking shot. Actually, I think Porzingis technically does have a game winner. He had one in Memphis, but it was like with a minute to play, and they just got a billion stops in between.
That doesn't count. That doesn't fucking count.
He had the game-saving block.
Well, then if that counts, then Tatum's Timberwolves game counts.
Yeah, it was a fire performance from Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Timberwolves game was awesome.
All right, let's go to the email. Nobody commented what's popping on this video, so nobody gets $10 gift card. But yeah, reminder, comment what's popping for a chance to win a $10 in Pop Needle gift card. Let's check out the email. RJ sent us a couple, so let's go see what he had to say. First one from RJ. What's popping? Edie and Kata. Evening, guys. Halftime of the men's title game is time for a couple of quick hits. Sorry, that's when he sent this. Tough, RJ. Congrats to Nemi for his multi-year deal. I think his minutes and physicality will be useful in the playoffs if the C's draw Embiid. No, he's not going to be a, quote, Embiid stopper, but he's going to help wear him down. Zach Edey's performance tonight should move him up in the draft to where the C's won't see him at the end of the first round or the top of the second. I know a lot of people will say he's Luke Cornett 2.0, but I think he's going to continue to develop his game. He spends year one in the G League to get reps that will develop his skills he will need for an NBA career. Finally, with the Kata contract, what will Brad do this summer with the roster? I don't see the Celtics carrying 5 centers and Brissy. Who goes? I'm almost certain Svi won't be back in Boston next year. My initial wild-ass guess is that the Celtics, the C's help out Luke with the sign and trade, possibly finding someone who wants a package of Luke, Brissett, and Davison to help fill out the roster inexpensively. Before you scoff, consider the upside Benton and Stevens have shown elsewhere after a partial year in Celtics University. Anyways, back to the second half. Go Boilers. Sorry, RJ. That didn't end for you. Now, I'm not even going to call it at the risk, at the expense of knowing I'm going to get yelled at by the comments again. Nemi's not going to play in the playoffs. I'm sorry. He's just not. He's not going to play in the playoffs.
Well,
and he might
just foul Embiid minutes.
I know. I don't think he's going to play in the playoffs. I don't think he'll even get that because you're telling me he's going to get foul Embiid minutes over Cornette and Tillman and Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. I don't buy it.
They might just use it as so those other guys don't get fouls. It could happen.
I don't know. I think
I don't think he's going to play a lot of minutes.
I think there's a 0.5% chance Nimi steps foot on the court.
I also hope they win games by enough that he will play.
Sure, garbage time minutes, yes, but I if you see him before the fourth quarter,
it's not good.
Yeah,
something's wrong if you're seeing him in the third quarter.
It's not going to happen. He's not going to get minutes, and it does make it awkward with the centers thing. I think I could see a world where they carry all of them into next year, but that is a lot now that you say it out loud. But at the same time, like, they have them all on the roster right now. Like, I think they are comfortable with the roster they have now, and so I could easily see them carrying it into next season as well. I don't know the details of Nimi's contract. For all we know, next year is a non-guaranteed year. We don't know that at all. I do think there's a chance Luke gets paid too much, so maybe this is a Luke insurance. But I got very much yelled at in the comments for saying there was one comment that I want to read that I was like, let me just read this. One commenter got mad at me and said, talking about Kornet as if he's Tim Duncan or someone is crazy. Talking about Kata won't ever play Kornet is crazy. In the little time Kata has played, he's done more than Kornet big time. Wrong. So. You're just not correct. Like, you just see what really you want to see.
He gets minutes this year.
Kornet's been amazing this year, and I'm not talking about Kornet like I'm Tim Duncan. I'm just saying I think he's better than Neemias Queta. So if you're saying Neemias Queta is like what, like an all-star and Tim Duncan's an MVP, like, I think you're the crazy one for thinking that they're on that level. Like, I'm not saying he's Tim Duncan. I just don't think Nemi is better than him, and that's fine. Nemi's a good player too, but I just think Kornet's been really good.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are going to have some decisions to make this summer, and it's going to suck. I think they have a lot of likable players on this team. I think they have a lot of guys that get along with each other, and the thought of Luke Kornet leaving kind of sucks because he's not only a really solid backup piece, but he also seems to be a good presence within the team. So
I don't think they'll let him go. I can't see it.
It just depends how much someone wants to pay him. I also don't think they'll let him go, nor should they. Should they let him go? Because
I think he gets stolen. Yeah, I think he could get stolen, but like RJ saying, like, they could trade him. I don't think they'll trade him. I don't think they'll let him go for nothing. I think it's either someone's going to pay him too much where they don't want to match it, or he's going to be on the team. And I think it'll be well worth it because Kornet's been awesome. Frankly, he's been really, really, really good this year for the Celtics.
And it helps that he doesn't make any money. So if he starts making money and doesn't play as well, then it'll kind of suck.
Exactly. That's the problem. Anyways, thank you, RJ. Is there anything else we missed in here? Sorry about the guys. Sorry about the
Svi. Svi was a weird addition because he kind of joined with the backup plan of going to play in Europe. And he might still kind of want to do that because he didn't really play with this year's Celtics team. But when he's actually taking shots, they usually go in.
My thing with Svi is, as much as everyone thinks it could be Drew Peterson, like, you want to talk about if Hauser gets paid replacement. That's one of the guys you work with. Svi. It's one of the guys you work with, and everyone's saying, "Oh, but Svi's so much older." Drew Peterson's not young. Like, let's not, like, people. I don't think people realize how old.
How old is he?
Drew Peterson is. He's 24.
That was my guess.
And Svi is, I think, 26. He's 26. So, like, they're not that much difference in age. So I don't know. I like Svi. And the other thing is, I don't know where I saw this or heard it, but I'm pretty sure, or I think I saw somewhere that Svi is friends with Tatum. So he might get the bump.
he might be here forever.
Yeah, he might get the bump.
He might become a coach.
Then again, Grant was also friends with Tatum, so never mind.
No, they hate Grant.
Next thing, what's popping? More sandwich love, sweet.
Right.
Morning, guys. Nice wrap-ups on the Nemi signing and the Tuesday morning drop. Since this last week has zero meaning for the Celtics, and March Madness is officially over, let me return to my own stroll down the food memory lane. McDonald's sausage biscuit. I forget when Mickey D added this to the breakfast menu, but I was hooked from the start. Like their fries, you got to eat it warm from the grill, otherwise the biscuit dries out and it's nowhere near as awesome. The sausage patty is perfectly spiced and doesn't need egg or cheese. I could eat these every day. For a while, I think I did. McDonald's breakfast sandwiches are very good. I had one today.
Yeah, I remember they used to have chicken McGriddles. Fire. Just pure class. Yeah, you get yourself the little pancake breading, and then you get a chicken patty too, and a hash brown on the side. Change your life.
Next one, Euro sandwich. First, just pronounce gyros. Is it gyros? I think it's
Heroes.
Euros. I thought it was euros.
It's like Hero.
Anyways.
It's like Tyler Hero.
I always said euros. The original sandwich shop meat is a blend of seasoned lamb and beef that is slow cooked on a vertical skewer, then thinly sliced and thinly grilled before being tucked into a pita bread that also has been lightly warmed on the griddle. Traditional is to add shredded lettuce, diced tomato, white onion, and tzatziki, a very yummy yogurt and cucumber sauce, and then wrap it in either foil or paper to eat on the go. You can get it as dinner plate at some places, but sandwich is the best. If it doesn't seem a little greasy / oily, not too much, then they didn't make it right. A staple in the Chicagoland area that many people have tried to redo is a sandwich wrap. The way Sam is about home white uniforms only being worn at home, that's me opposing a, quote, healthy sandwich wrap version of this of a Euro. A healthy Euro is fundamentally wrong. Buy it and bad things will happen to you. I've never had one. Have you?
I've never had a Hero sandwich. I think they have falafel wraps, and you can get like chicken and stuff in it at East Side Pockets in Providence. But besides that, I don't really think I've had much Mediterranean type food. And I know Heroes are a staple of that.
I'm pretty sure Hero is a different sandwich. Like a Hero sandwich is a thing.
It's spelled
Like,
the way that is spelled.
I know, but like there is a Hero sandwich, like HERO is a real thing.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay. I feel like, I don't know. I don't care. Let us know in the comments. You guys can say stuff. Ganella buns. Time to take a quick break to acknowledge why I never bought a why I never bought a store-bought sub until I was in my 30s. Ganella buns. Growing up around Chicago, their 6-inch French bread rolls were the foundation of any style sandwich made in the area. They had amazing texture, flavor, and consistency. Hot or cold sandwiches built on these were amazing, and that meant I could make several sandwich subs with these a pack of cold cuts, condiments, and cheese for the price of one from the corner deli, let alone a chain. Be well, RJ, who says, who only writes food posts after eating. I've never had Ganella buns. Have you?
Me neither. I never even heard of them.
Let's take a look.
I did have Jersey Mike's yesterday. What a
Ganella
day.
buns. I don't see them. I just see Ganella hot dog buns, but I don't think that's what you're. Oh, here.
No, I don't.
I assume it's this. Like soft rolls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet that's pretty good, especially for a homemade sandwich. You can't really go wrong with that.
There you go. W. Thank you, RJ, as per usual. All right, let's get into the NBA standings check-in, which, as per usual, is going to be pretty fun because we're getting down to that time of the season where the NBA standing section is quickly becoming, our favorite part of the show. Here we go. So, as of now, the Celtics still have Celtics did lose to the Bucks, though, so their lead has gone from 15 to 14, unfortunately. Everyone can cry. But the Bucks are a game up on the Knicks, and the Knicks are only a game up on the Magic and the Cavs, and the Knicks are only a game and a half up on the Pacers. That makes up 2 through 6. Philly is only a game behind Indiana in the 6-7, and then Miami is a game and a half out of 7th place and 2.5 games out of 6. Miami is looking like they're going to be in the play-in tournament. Their time for a run has
Miami
ended.
plays today, and they have a game in hand on both Philly and Indiana. So if they win tonight, they will be tied with Philly. They are playing Dallas.
It's not
Orlando
impossible.
Plays Milwaukee.
It's not impossible, but they would have to win out, and the Pacers would have to lose out.
Not impossible.
Not impossible, but highly unlikely. Very unlikely. Looks like they'll be in the plan. But the Sixers could still jump in to the playoffs and out of the play-in should the Pacers lose. I don't know. I mean, the Sixers have won 6 in a row. The Pacers have just won 3 in a row themselves. I don't know. Do they play each other? I wonder.
They did just play each other.
Pacers do not have any more games against Philly. No, they don't. Pacers only have 2 games left. So actually, I'm pretty sure the Heat cannot climb out of the.
They sure could.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Yeah, I'm reading.
They're a game and a half.
I'm thinking
back,
2.5. Game and a half.
They would have to win out.
Yes.
Indiana
my bad.
Lose out. Orlando also could fall out for what it's worth.
Yeah. So could
I guess Cleveland could too.
Yeah.
So there's some wiggle room.
The Knicks could fall out technically.
I'd love the Knicks fell out and got bounced the first round.
That's very unlikely, but they could technically fall out. But Yeah. Meanwhile, also the Bulls, Hawks. Who cares? Rest of these, who cares? It just doesn't matter. Out west, everyone's clinched the playoffs. Timberwolves, Nuggets, Thunder, Clippers, Mavs have all clinched the playoffs at the very least. The Pelicans are fighting with the Suns. They're one game up on the Suns in sixth place. The Timberwolves, Nuggets, and Thunder are still fighting for the first seed. Thunder are one game back of the other two. The Kings and the Lakers are scrapping it out to see. That's actually an important race because whoever wins out and gets the eighth seed will only have to win one game versus two. So that's actually very important. And then the Warriors are also actually only a game out of the eighth seed, so they could also find a way up into that 7-8 game. That would be huge. So this 6 through 10 race in the West is the equivalent of the 3 through 8 race in the East. It's coming down the wire here. We're going to have some very fun games this Sunday on the last day of the season.
It's going to be electric. You have a semi-fun slate tonight. I already talked about Magic, Bucks, Heat, Mavericks. Who else we got? I'm looking. ESPN decided to take me off the games page, so you're going to have to give me a moment. You have Cleveland is playing Memphis. Atlanta is playing Charlotte, which means nothing. Toronto, Brooklyn is meaningless. Dallas, Miami, Orlando, Milwaukee. Spurs
Orlando,
play
Milwaukee's
OKC.
huge.
Minnesota plays Denver, and Phoenix plays the Clippers. The Clippers are not playing anymore.
So if the Magic beat the Bucks, that means they'll be tied in terms of standing. No, Magic will only be one game back of the Bucks if they win. Correct. If the Heat beat the Mavericks, they will jump into a tie with the Sixers.
Philly.
Yep. Minnesota, Denver is a huge game because that will have sole possession and a one-game lead atop the Western Conference. Phoenix Clippers is important for Phoenix because they're in that race as well. So a lot of stuff going down here. And then, I mean, if Cleveland loses to Memphis, then
that would be fire. That would be so fire.
You deserve what's coming.
Then you get interesting.
They've already made it interesting by just blowing everything up. But anyways, let's we can wrap the NBA standings there unless you have anything else.
Nah, I'm excited to watch these games play out. I'll tell you that.
It'll be a fun time. Next thing, Giannis got hurt live in front of our eyes on the playback. He avoided significant injury to the Achilles, which is good for Giannis. The reporting is that he will miss some time with a calf strain, maybe a bit slow in the first round, but effectively that they're just going to be playing it by ear at this point. But I did see some people on Twitter. I don't know if I think they were like medical people saying like these injuries usually take around 1 to 2 weeks to be fully back to normal.
Yep. He's done for the regular season. That is for sure. He will not play any more regular season games. Underdog Fantasy had that today, and the playoffs is questionable. I don't know when exactly he'll be back. But we talked a little bit about this on the old Talkin' C's today, Jack. But you are not convinced Milwaukee gets out of the first round regardless. Never mind if Giannis is grabbing the calf like he's me.
Yeah, I think they're cooked. I think they're screwed. I thought they were screwed before Giannis got hurt. I think they're going to lose to whoever they play.
They really need to hope that Philly or Miami climbs out of the play-in. I'm hoping for it as is just because I don't want to get stuck playing one. But, I mean, they're guaranteed to play one of them. The Celtics technically could avoid playing either one, regardless if the season ended today and it was 7, 8, 9, 10 the way it is. One of those teams could lose both games and not play the Celtics. One of them is going to have to win to get the 7th seed. So Milwaukee will have their hands full regardless.
It would be crazy if the Bulls or the Hawks did win 2 games in a row, which is not impossible, and just got into the playoffs over one of these fucking other teams. That'd be fun. But yeah, man, I think Milwaukee's just not very good. And I know this is bad timing because they did just beat the Celtics, but in a 7-game series with the way they've played this season, I think the Knicks would beat them. I think the Sixers would beat them. I think the Heat would beat them. And I think the Magic, Cavs, and Pacers, maybe the Magic and Pacers would have a real 50-50 chance. I don't think the Cavs are very good against the Bucks, and I don't know. I just don't believe in the Bucks, man. I'm out. I don't see it.
The probably most fun Bucks matchup out of the play-in would be Miami because you have the whole one team really, really wanted Dame, and it was their whole life, and the other team actually got Dame. So you have a bunch of guys on Miami that were told they should be traded for Dame all summer with the opportunity to eliminate Dame and the boys from the playoffs. I think that'd be pretty fun for the players, and the fan base has had enough of not having Dame on their team, so they also would like to eliminate him. Of course, Philly would be fun.
I want Indy.
Oh, yeah, Indy's a fun rivalry part, but the juice
best.
behind the Dame stuff would be fun.
It would be. I think they're done. I just think they're cooked, man. I don't know. I'm out on Milwaukee. I'm not a believer. So I just don't think they'll be very good. But I hope Giannis is okay though. Genuinely, I hate injuries. Injuries suck, man. All right, next thing. The Suns have signed Isaiah Thomas for the rest of the regular season. The former Celtic gets his chance to play for the rest of the year. He is playoff eligible, I believe, because he wasn't on another team, got bought out. He's just a free agent. So yeah, good for IT. W.
Still think it's convenient that the Nemi news came a half hour after the Isaiah thing came out from Shane.
It is.
Maybe Brad and the boys were clutching their pearls, holding out. Like, can we please get Isaiah back? We need it because we fucked him over really bad and we're cursed now.
It is interesting timing. I'll give you that. No, it is intriguing timing. The other thing is, we didn't even talk about this, and this is less Isaiah Thomas and more Nemi, but the Celtics have a two-way spot open now.
I'm ready if needed.
New video soon.
I don't give a fuck about the two ways, but I know we're gonna have to fill time next week. But I'm telling you right now, if that video comes out and you hear me talking, just know I don't give a fuck about whoever I'm talking about. Unless it's Kevin Reed.
Unless it's somebody we like. No, unless it's somebody we think is cool. Like, who would be the most fun? This should have been a segment in the Celtics section. Who would be? I don't even know if you can think of any. The most fun two-way player the Celtics could possibly sign. Are there even a name that pops into your head?
David Duke, the PC guy, not the other guy.
I was gonna say that's quite the name to come out of your mouth.
No, yeah, he played a PC. It would be cool. I'd be in for that.
What about who's the guy who played in Maine this year?
DJ Stewart?
No. The other PC guy.
PC.
What's his name? Maybe
you're talking about Justin Minaya?
No. The guy you don't like. I should find out fucking.
AJ Reeves.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's playing in Maine anymore. He's not very good.
He was though. Is my point.
He was with Maine for a little bit, but he's not very good. He's J.R. Smith, but like not Walmart, like Dollar Tree.
I've heard high praise for Kyler Kelly, but I don't think they need another big guy. So I don't know how that would make much sense. I'm pretty sure David Duke's already signed, actually. So I don't think he is.
He's with like another team. But what if they were like, "Hey, come play for us instead"?
Well, he's in a two-way. Like he's not. About Jarrett Culver signing a two-way with the Celtics. How about that? What'd you think?
I just don't know. I don't know. If I had a pool of all the two-way guys in front of me,
I know. I have nothing either. I just saw Jarrett Culver here and thought it was funny because, holy shit, what a name! I haven't thought of Jarrett Culver.
Is Book Night available?
Bring in Jermaine
Charlotte
Samuels.
got rid of him.
Oh, he's in a two-way contract. Damn. Jermaine Samuels is from a town away from me. Never mind. Anyways, okay, that's it. We can be done. Next thing, funny. Malik Monk extension talk. So Malik Monk is going to need a new contract at the end of this year. And usually this isn't something we talk about, but I just thought Sabonis' response to this, I just thought was entertaining because it was like, it's what's the Bernie Sanders meme? I'm no longer asking.
Yes. Yeah.
So he was asked about it. And Sabonis goes, we better keep him. I think there's no excuse. I'll talk to Monty McNair and Vivek myself. We've got to keep him. He's a big piece for us moving forward. Mike Brown said it's just easy to see how important Malik is to our organization. He's loved by his teammates, the organization, and the city. Hopefully his free agency won't last too long to be a king long term. Malik Monk said, I'm comfortable in Sacramento. I'd love to play here again for sure. I've been here the last 2 years and made friends with everyone, including the training staff in the front office. I'd love to be back here, but just the initial from Sabonis. I want
to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, the initial one from Sabonis of we better keep him is it's just
Sabonis hit him with the not my money.
Literally,
that's what he did.
Not asking you motherfuckers, bring him back.
Yeah, it's good that these guys are willing to go to bat for Malik Monk. Malik Monk, and part of it is he's coming off an injury, so they probably don't want to see him get fucked in that respect either.
Yeah.
He's played really well for Sacramento. He was good for them last season. He was good in the postseason in the first round. And then this year, he was a 6 Man of the Year candidate. Of course, you want to keep that guy around as you're trying to compete with your team.
He's probably going to win 6 minutes. He's averaged 15, 3, and 5 assists off the bench and 44-35 splits. Like, he's been a really, really, really important piece for them. So shout out Malik Monk. He should definitely get paid. The question is how much, and not my money, not my problem. So we'll see what happens there. But when Domantas Sabonis is going to make 51 mil in a few years, and you should probably get thinking.
Almost choked on my damn water.
I will say,
my team was playing Sabonis that much kind of money.
I will say Fox is on actually a really good deal. He makes 32 this year, 34 next year, and 37 the year after that. Like, that's actually not really bad at all.
No, it's a good deal.
Player. But then he's going to get the bag. So get ready, Sacramento. Good luck. Anyways, next and final NBA thing. I've been looking forward to this. So
I love how obvious this is a copy paste. Not that I blame you for the amount of content that is in this section, but just I'm going to read the first sentence of what Jack posted. On a night when electric Knicks guard Jalen Brunson poured in 45 points on 13 for 24 shooting, the Bulls defense couldn't afford such careless blunders from their offense. Did you write this yourself?
Of course not. I didn't write
well,
this.
No. But I thought you might have did this in a Bulls article.
No. I just pulled this from Hoops Hype because the quote's attached. And let me pull up the clip before we. So the Knicks played the Bulls last night. The Knicks were up at the start of by the end of the first quarter. The Knicks were like up by 10 or 9-ish. And second quarter opens. First play of the quarter. Bulls Bulls force a turnover.
Play good defense.
Get a
steal.
Get a turnover. Torrey Craig gets the ball. And I'm going to play it for the YouTube crowd here. Torrey Craig, I'm going to play the audio just because we need it. So just take a listen.
Starts the second on the bench. Bogdanovich never stopped moving. That's a steal to Drummond. Andre Drummond knocked it free. And Torrey Craig! Oh, no! You gotta be kidding me.
Chris Broussard has entered the chat.
So,
actually,
Torrey Craig...
Play it back. You can take the sound off. We don't need the sound again.
So Torrey Craig gets the ball in the fast break after Drummond gets the steal.
Drummond is the one that gets the steal, is right.
He is.
He has earned this bucket.
Torrey Craig throws it off the backboard, and supposedly to himself, but Drummond thinks he's throwing it to him. So they both jump. Andre Drummond bodies Torrey Craig. They both fall down, and neither of them makes the bucket. It's just look at Kobe White's face. Kobe White's just watching this all go down. He just goes, like, the audible equivalent of what was said here was probably like, "Are you fucking kidding me, man?" Like, watch him. He just goes, "Oh man." Dude, the disappointment. After the
this
game,
team gets to play in the postseason, by the way.
They do. After the game, Torrey Craig said, "Quote: I just wanted to try to create some excitement." He said, "We did some really dumb stuff tonight." This is from Kobe White now. "We did some really dumb stuff tonight. Everybody, not just T. Craig. So we're not going to sit here and single him out. We're a team." Billy Donovan also said he said something about it. I'm going to find it, but Torrey Craig said, "We've been dealing with it all season, and I take accountability with that as well. Sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us, but it's an emotional game, especially when you want to win, especially when you're competitive. We've just got to do a better job of the team, not letting it cost us games. It's too late." Kobe White then said, "It's too late in the season to be having these types of lapses. So we've got to get our shit together." For sure. And then what was it? Bulls Knicks game recap. Billy Donovan's quote about this was super funny as well because he was just like clearly really pissed.
I think the best part is Torrey Craig. So just like imagine being in the play, right? Torrey Craig is ahead of the pack. He throws the ball off the glass and jumps. If you're Andre Drummond, though you may already have made the decision to jump and you may be in the air, you can still make the decision not to reach for the ball.
Yep.
He's like, fuck this, it's mine. And he tries to rip the ball away from Torrey Craig, and then they get nothing. And like you pointed out, Kobe White's standing there very displeased after making a gut-busting run up the other lane to try and get in on the play in case they wanted to make a pass. And that's what they ended up with. Very tough for the Bulls. Very tough. What did Billy Donovan have to say?
Just one line said, "To me, it was just really disappointing." just hit him with the disappointed father figure, disappointed mom. Like,
speaking of
I'm
PC,
not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Billy Donovan, PC.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. Well, the way they were talking about it after the game, they were like, it's not just T. Craig. Was that Torrey Craig's fault? Are we sure that was Torrey Craig's
No.
fault? Yeah. What are we doing?
I think Torrey Craig, hot take, had it. Think he would have made
He
it.
definitely had it.
Yeah.
He would have definitely made it. What was Andre Drummond doing is the thing. Like, why is he not getting any of this shit for it?
Somebody said in the chat, greatest rebounder of all time.
I said that.
You said it.
I said that. Yeah, dude. He saw a fucking rebound. He's like, I need it. I need it bad. I gotta pad the stats.
He was probably devastated when he found out it didn't hit the rim.
Man, very tough. All right, let's go to the rat list here. Would you like to start us off here?
Yeah, rat list to whoever keeps making bomb threats at Planet Fitness. Every single day, my buddy Matt, who still works in news, will text a group chat I'm in and be like, bomb threat at Planet Fitness of Warwick again. Like, just they just love a bomb threat. Somebody's calling him every single day, being like, bomb threat. One day they're just gonna like actually do it, and like they'll have cried wolf so many times, no one's gonna care. It's actually a good plan. We have the Riddler on.
No, not a good plan. Don't do this.
Allegedly.
Sam's gonna get doxxed. No,
I like the gym. Why would I want them to get rid of it? I'd be heated if somebody blew my gym up, and if anybody got hurt.
Yeah, I'm glad for the addendum. I'm really happy you added that second part. That's clearly
I mean, you don't want
important.
anyone to get hurt, but I'd like to be able to work out.
Fucking work.
Very inconsiderate. I mean, imagine if I went to the gym at this time of day, how aggravated I would be. Every single day, imagine you're trying to get started in the gym. Like you're trying to get in a routine. You're like, I'm going to get myself in shape. Anybody. And you just get a bomb threat every time you try to go in there. It's like, I guess it's just not meant to be. I'm not getting in shape. Oh,
nope.
Someone's just calling them like, is your refrigerator running? Because there's a bomb in it. Every single day. And then you get a kick out of it every single time.
Have they tried to like find the guy?
I'd imagine they do. Like, it's getting to the news every day. They're reporting it to the news. I don't know what goes into phone tracing. I don't know. I know you can get a VPN. I know there's a ton of things you can do to like make your location not what it actually is. So the answer I would say in short is they haven't got him yet.
Yep.
Really going on a little bit.
Yeah, good one. This is a small and useless thing, but Rallis Dunkin' Donuts. I've said this a million times in the show. My mom gets her coffee 7 milk, 7 sugar, which is obscene. It just is, right? It's crazy.
Yes, it is. It's
now, can you repeat that to me? What did I just say? How does she get it?
7 milk, 7 sugar.
One more time.
7 milk, 7 sugar.
Does milk mean cream, Sam?
No.
Every fucking time. Cream. And my mom doesn't drink it because she can't have it because she had like heart surgery a couple years ago. She can't have like that much cream. So it just goes to waste because I don't want that fucking coffee. I want my own because I order my own.
It would be funny if you like started drinking it and then you got really unhealthy.
Dude.
Because you were like, I have to fall on the sword here.
But like 7 and 7, when you say that, like 7 is like default is cream because I don't think what people get, they get cream and sugar. And so if you say regular, it's cream and sugar. And so when you say 7 milk, 7 sugar, people are just like apparently people talking just go, oh, 7, 7, easy. I'll just put cream in it. That's not what I fucking ordered. Like, what do we do? Like yesterday, I ordered mine and hers, and there was cream in both of them, and I ordered cream for neither of them. And listen, I don't know about you.
Last time I had cream, it's a fantastic item.
What would you do if that happened and they gave you the cream?
What the fuck do they call it? You go to the drive-thru and you say, is it return to sender, and you just whip it back in the window? There's something they say. I forget what they
return
say.
To sender. I think it's something like that.
Is it? Is that what it
is? Genuinely, what would you do?
I'd be pissed. I'd probably go to another one.
That's what you do. So I'd
go in. Now, Jack, are you going to the drive-thru and telling them, or are you putting it in the app?
I'm going to the drive-thru and telling them.
Wow, that's a step up. You're taking it seriously.
Well, I was on the way back from jury duty. But they got it wrong, so I just had to go to another one. But the worst was, and this only happened once. One time, I went to the first one, they got it wrong. Went to the second one, they got it wrong. I went to the third one, and they also got it wrong. And so then I had to go back around at the first one and say, hey, can I get another coffee? Like, this is wrong. And they, like, apologize or whatever. But, like, I had fucking 5 coffees.
Wait, so you went back to the first one?
No, I went back to the last one I went to. That the third.
Oh,
one.
okay.
just
I
got-
was
oh,
like,
right
I was
beside
like, you went to another one, and then when they couldn't figure it out, you didn't feel as bad. You were like, oh, maybe it's not just
Well,
the one that I
see,
went to. They won't feel bad.
maybe this is a
You
generational
didn't
thing.
want to
My
single them out.
my mom will like just tell them at the window, said, "Oh, I ordered milk," which is like the normal thing to do. But I'm just like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to like make their day any harder. I'll just make my day 5 minutes longer because I don't care that much. I'll just go to another one. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like you just said you'd go to another one too. But
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah. Well,
It's
I
just-
also don't know if I would be able to tell if it was milk or cream.
that's the thing. I've learned. It's just a lot lighter. Like you can see the color versus the color of milk because it's a lot
Okay.
like lighter. Because it's thicker and so it like
they even
mixes
put
in
coffee
differently.
in it, which is a milkshake.
At that point. But one time my mom went up and she said, "Oh, I ordered milk, not cream." And they go, "That is milk." And she's like, it's clearly not fucking milk. Like I know it, like, and they're like, "No, it's milk. I just made it." And so my mom took the coffee, took the lid off, drank it, put the lid back on, and said, "It's not milk." And gave it back to them, and they got really mad. And I wasn't in the car for it. When she came back and told me, she goes, "I got an argument with the drive-thru worker." And I just go, "Why? Like, why did you get in an argument?" Oh, it's not her fault at all. First, to clarify, but
I think it has become like the normal to do what you do and just like say, forget
yes,
it. And realistically, when you hear it, it's like, no, you're paying, they're getting
exactly,
paid,
yes,
and you should get what you ordered. But I don't think any of us like have like the built-in like signal to do that anymore. Like we're kind of programmed not to do that. And so
Yeah.
the worker
She is-
getting told to remake it is a not normal thing for them.
I know. And to be clear, my mom is perfectly in the right. Like she has the right to
Correct.
say that's not what I ordered. It's just funny because they were like, "No, it's not. It's milk," and she's like, "No, it's fucking not, you idiot." Like, hello. So Ratless Duncan for making me go to a second one tomorrow after I spent the whole jury duty.
I'll say Ratless Curb. First of all, Curb is coming to a close. I love Curb. I've not finished Curb yet. I have 2 episodes left. My mom is also a fan of Curb. I was talking to my mom about Curb today. The Ratless is because I feel like Curb validates my mom a bit. Now, last time I spoke to you and I talked a little bit about the ice rink, which is hilarious. She's like, I think we got to go to the council meeting and be like, these kids got to get their grades up if they're going to annoy me at the ice rink. And I respect that. But my mom does love to, like, you talking about your mom, like, sending the coffee bag made me think, like, my mom loves that stuff. She lives for that stuff. And in the show, Larry does all that. That's what Larry's character is. And so she's like, I think I like the show so much because I feel validated. I was like, no, we can't have that. But I do want to give a shout out to Curb because Curb is excellent, a work of art.
Did it win our bracket last year? Sorry,
it was that in Seinfeld. I really just powered.
I think Curb won. I think
might have won.
I think you gave it to it.
Curb is spectacular.
Ratless sidebar. So do you know what a sidebar is?
Yeah, it's the lawyer thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So sidebar is a lawyer says something and the judge goes, "I'll see you at sidebar," because they have to discuss it with just the lawyers. Now, Sam, you haven't had jury duty, right?
I have not.
So I was assigned to this court case and I get in at 10 a.m. I get in at 8:30, my first day there. And they don't let us into the courtroom to pick the jury until 11:15, 11:30. And the lawyer or the judge, first of all, said, "I'll try to let you know by 10." Then we just didn't fucking hear from them for an hour and a half. We get in there and I'm number 4. So I'm fucked already because the way they do it is like they'll pick the jury. And if they pick it before your number's called, you just get to go home. So I was 4. So I'm cooked. I'm done. Right. So put us up there. Stick us on the jury. And as they're talking, though, they bring all the potential jurors up one by one, while the rest of them just sit there in the back of the courtroom. You can't use your phones, can't nothing. You gotta sit there on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
But they put the sound on, so you can't hear what's being talked about at the judges table, and it's just effectively white noise, just in Just in. Did my mic cut that out, or could you hear me?
No, I heard you.
Okay. So they put that in. They put that in until everyone's done. Everyone's done. So I'm hearing that for like maybe an hour straight, like ringing throughout the room. They pick the jury. Fine. We get through. We do the whole court case. Lawyer gets up. Talking. Objection. See at sidebar. Lawyers go up to sidebar. Come back. Objection is sustained. Talking, asking questions. Objection. Judge thinks about it because judge can just go sustained or overruled and like let it go. And she goes, I'll see you at sidebar. Back up. Over and over and over again. And at this point, we get lunch at like 1 after opening statements. And at this point, there have been so many sidebars that we only get through 2 witnesses before we usually. So earlier in the day, the judge goes, "We're hoping to be done with this in 1 day, and we'll get you out of here." Judge rocks up 3:45 after we're done with certain things. She goes, "Earlier today, I did something I didn't usually do, and I made you a promise, or I told you something, and I said we'd be done in 1 day. Unfortunately, with all the stuff we have left, we're not going to be able to get it done in 1 day, so we'd like to see you back here tomorrow. I hope you'll all come back. 10 a.m. Get back the next day." Me and the other jurors, who I've made friends with at this point, they're cool people. Everyone was good people. Shout out to them. Me and this other guy who was around our age, I think he was like 22. I turned to him and I go, "Hey, buddy, over under 10 and a half sidebars today." And so we're just in the jury, and every time they go sidebar, we just look at each other and go, "What?" So we're just in the fucking jury of like, this is a criminal case. I'm not going to talk about exactly what the case was, but I told Sam what the case was, and it's just, we're just sitting there counting like 1, 2, 3, trying not to like laugh at the fucking sidebar noise. And they only had 5 sidebars. Yeah, they only had 5 sidebars that day, but just the noise every time. Like I was like, dude, come on. Do you have another one, and I can save my last jury day, or do you want me to? Or are you done?
I don't really have anything else.
I'll just continue.
Sadly,
then. So I go through this whole case. I was there 8:30 to 4 the first day. Second day, we show up at 10. I woke up late too. I woke up at 9:15, so I like rushed out the door. I got there late, and they didn't have parking in one lot, so I had to go to the other one, then walk over. But we got there in time. Me and this other kid who I was talking about before, like stood around in this room, like, "Are they coming? Are we that late?" But they eventually came to get us. So we get into the courtroom, right? Get into the courtroom. We got there at 10. Got in around like 10:30. They start up again. They're going sidebar. Yeah, I get it. Going through everything. We get to like 10 or like 11-ish. We're at 11:15. And the judge goes, "Okay, I'm going to have the jury step out for a moment. We have some legal matters we'd like to discuss that cannot be heard because they would sway your decision. So we're going to have you sit out. We'll get you back in very quickly. 11:15 that happens. Don't get back in the courtroom until 12:30, 12:45. Get in there. Dude, the court marshal or whatever, the court officer, whatever, comes in. He says, "Circle what you want. We're going to buy you lunch when you come for deliberations." And so I got like an Italian sub. It was good. I got that in Pepsi. It was nice. We get in there. The lawyers do their closing statements. We see the witness, all this good stuff. And then the judge goes. So a reminder, I'd sat in there from Bennett Court 8:30 to 4 one day, and then 10 to now, like, I didn't get out of court at the end of the day till like 3. So this was like 2 p.m. Or like maybe 1:30. And they go, "Okay, we're going to pick a name. We're going to whittle the jury down here." And we're like, "What do you mean whittle the jury down? What are you talking about?" "We pick 7 in case one of you doesn't show up for the second day or just can't make it the second day if something happens. We're going to pick one of you to be the alternate. And what we're going to do with the alternate is stick them in another room by themselves and not let them help. We're going to do this in a very scientific way," judge says verbatim. Motherfucker pulls out a cup with papers in it with numbers and just goes, "Ooh, swirl to me, pick one out." Juror number 4 and seat number 2, my dumbass, got picked to be the alternate juror. So after all of this bullshit that I had to listen to, all of this case that I was like now invested in, like I wanted to help figure this thing. Like at this point, I wanted to like share my opinions. They stuck me in another room by myself for an hour and a half while the rest of the jury deliberated. I had to eat my lunch by myself. I had to just sit in there. They just annexed me. I didn't get to see any of the documents, the evidence and stuff. Nothing. I didn't get to help at all. And then they pulled me back and they're like, okay, the jury's done now. And they sit us back down to the jury, but they goes, you were the alternate, right? And I go, yeah, okay, you have to sit over here. I sat by myself, like to the side, like so it was clear that I didn't fucking help or do anything. Like they had to note that I didn't do
They
shit.
should have given you a dunce cap.
Dude.
This guy's
Luckily-
not good enough to make a decision.
The rest of the jury was like, what would you have said? Like when we got back in after everything, like I was like, oh, I would have said this, and they were like, oh, yeah, okay. We like thought over like what
We
would
thought
Jack
so.
think? Because no, yeah, they're like we all agreed with it, but they were like we were asking ourselves like, what do you guys think Jack would think? Because we felt bad they didn't let you do anything, and so they came to the same conclusion I was leaning towards as well. So everything was good, and it was like a nice ending, in my opinion at least, because hopefully they're
Yeah,
to the
that's
trial,
kind of
but-
terrible. Like, not only did you have to do jury duty, but you didn't even get to do jury duty. Like,
no,
yeah, you had to be there, but you didn't even get to participate in the fun. Like,
No.
you could have ruined someone's life if you wanted to, but you didn't even get the chance.
yeah. Literally, I did nothing. It was if you want, like, you look up waste of time in the
Yeah.
dictionary, that is exactly what it is. Getting jury duty, getting picked, going through the trial, having to go back for a second day, and then being the alternate.
It's like that and being a Bulls fan.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Yeah, so that was my my experience at jury duty. Anyways, any final thoughts, Sam?
I hope you don't have to do jury. I hope I don't have to do jury duty.
Well, I'm free for 3 years.
All
So
right.
they don't
I
have to-
better
will
order
say, though,
myself a Confederate flag vest. Just
My-
in case.
My gym teacher, who I did it with, told me he's been picked 7 times, and he sat on a jury 5 different times, including once in federal court, which is like
Federal court probably kind of lit.
it's,
Except it probably
Dude,
takes a while, but still probably like kind of cool.
it's scary, dude. It is like a anxious situation having to listen to this shit. Like,
You
I can't
know,
lie.
shit, I lost it. Just keep talking. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? Nope. I had it and I lost it again. This is bad. Keep this in. This is not good for me.
Of course, I'm gonna keep it in.
Yeah, keep it in.
anyways.
Keep it in.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the How About Them Celtics excuse me, YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video as I see Sam staring off his screen, like trying desperately to think of what he was talking about.
No idea what I
make
was
sure
it was something funny. I'm pissed.
make sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment
Oh.
what's popping, and use code. Hit me. There it is. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
You know what would have been terrible is to have the draft. I saw the draft on like somebody posted a video of the draft on Twitter
Yeah.
like this week.
Oh, I
And I
saw
was
you
like-
tweet this.
Yeah. Like best time ever to have February 29th be your birthday. Like I don't even think they would have had February 29th on the sheet. Imagine
Yeah,
it's like
draft
you and
is-
like 5 people just like pumping your fists that you didn't get it.
It's like the fucking Hunger Games for like February 29th. What the fuck? What do you mean?
I didn't think they would have that. What the fuck? Dude, I would be so heated if I got drafted. I remember there was like talk that the draft was going to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, I was devastated.
Yeah,
I was
this
like
fuck-
talking to people. I
Hell
was like,
no.
how do I not do this? Because I think at the time I was working at the nursing home. So I was like talking to one of the line cooks who was around for the first time they did the draft. And I was like, what'd you do?
Yeah, what'd he
He's like,
say?
"Tell-" He was like, well, you could like do heroin. Like,
Well, I
they
mean-
wouldn't take you if you did heroin.
You're fucked because like they're not taking my fat ass with glasses. you're cooked.
They'll
buddy.
get
See
you
you
into
later.
shape. It might be good for you.
Hell no. They'd rather you're dumbass. You run 7 miles a day. You're done. See you later, brother. Goodbye.
I started slamming back like
Yeah.
dozens of donuts.
Maybe it could be good. Maybe I've done you up.
Well, there's
good
a
again.
season of Always Sunny where Mac, one of the actors that plays Mac, gets fat, and like he talks about it, he's like, yeah, it's just like slamming milkshakes. Like they got him fat on purpose because they thought it would be funnier.
like the actor. They got the actor fat.
The legitimate actor
Oh.
got fat on purpose. Yeah,
That's so sick. I love that a lot. All right. Anyways,
he's
again,
the
thank
one
you.
that owns Wrexham. You know him.
Oh, Rob McElhenney.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you very much. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment what's popping. Use code CLNS on Prize Picks. Follow us on podcast platforms. Leave us a review and a rating. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with something new every single day. We got these pods Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, game recaps the morning after each game. So you're going to have one Friday, one Saturday after the back-to-back here. And then we have live streams for you as well. Talking C's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. We have Celtics to the Roundtable, usually 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. This week will be a bit later because we're having a guest. And coming at you live before every single game for a half hour for pregame. So come hang out. Vibes are good. You can find us on Spotify and Apple. If you follow us there, you're going to get our audio pods and game recaps right to your inbox. Leave us a 5-star review, too. We would appreciate that very much. You can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That is the way to do what RJ does, to be one of the greats, to get in on the fun. Send us your thoughts on the C's, thoughts on the rat list, thoughts on sandwiches, whatever it may be, thoughts on jury duty. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack Simone NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.